Hey everyone, we're going to do a walkthrough on the new Spotlight raids for the Uncanny Avengers. Before we get into the match, let's look at the characters. As you can see, I have all mine at Purple ISO 3. I'm doing the hardest Spotlight raid with this team. I do have diamonds on Storm and Falcon. I think I got those through the last Kiln event. If you did not, I do recommend that you get them because their damage output is insane and they will clear entire waves at a time, especially if they use their ultimates after Jean Grey uses her special, which puts defense down on everyone. So I got all the T4s for Storm. Her ultimate, on turn, she gains +3 charge, helps get her up to that 20 charge, which maximizes her damage output on her ultimate, which you can see with the T4, you get +10% damage per charge. So it's really important to maximize the damage output for this team. So getting up to 20 charges by her second turn is really important. And when you get all the T4s, that's generally not a problem. And then with the special, I got the T4 on this as well because when you use her special, it strips all the charge off the enemies, gives it to her, and helps to get her up to 20 charge faster. There are quite a few enemies in these spotlight nodes that do have charge, including Black Knight. And then I got it on the basic as well because she'll gain an additional 2 charge, so that gets her up to 20 a little bit faster. I don't know if this one's absolutely necessary, but I got it, and I don't have a problem with her getting up to 20 charges. So I do have her as striker as well, so if an enemy does live through one of her attacks, they usually do have vulnerability, and then she follows up with the ISO bonus attack and gets additional charge. And then for Falcon, I got the passive. Having the immunity on spawn does help. There is a Spider-Man big time on one of these nodes. Sometimes he goes first, sometimes you go first. So I haven't really checked the speed. I don't know what's going on there, but if he goes first and you don't have immunity, then it's going to be a rough time for you. And then I got it on his ultimate too, the extra 50% damage to all enemies and 20% piercing to the primary. And it does help clear waves, entire waves at a time. Again, this is something that I use when all the enemies have defense down from Jean Grey's special. And it also puts bleed on all the enemies, so even if they do live, they usually have a sliver of life, and then on their turn they bleed out. And then I got it on the special as well because it helps give a little more speed bar, but I did not get it on his basic because I just haven't really needed it. It's minimal damage, and if I'm doing a basic with him, then I've already got the match under control. And then for Beast, I got the passive here. I think this one is quite possibly the most critical one for the team. As you can see in the description here, in raids after he takes his first turn, and he has his full team, then he generates 10 ability energy for himself and all of his Uncanny Avenger allies. So you don't have to worry about cooldowns for the ultimates after his first turn here. And so you usually do the specials on everyone first, and then Beast goes, and then he gives everyone energy, and then on the next round of attacks for your team, you start throwing out your ultimates, and you just destroy the entire wave. And then I also got it for the ultimate here because it adds offense up and speed up, so you'll continue to get to go before your enemies, and the offense up maximizes your damage output, and you usually kill most, if not all, the enemies before they even take a turn this way. But I haven't needed the T4 on the special. There's really no benefit. Same with the basic here, 40% damage. I'm not gonna spend a T4 on that. And then Hercules, his passive, definitely get that because it puts Safeguard on spawn. So that combined with the passive of Falcon helps protect you against that big time Spider-Man that sometimes goes first. He can strip your buffs and then or flip them and apply a bunch of negative effects, and that can wreck your team if you don't have the Safeguard and immunity on spawn. And then for the ultimate, definitely get this. 100% piercing damage to all enemies is huge. And again, this is an attack that I use to clear an entire wave at a time after Jean Grey's special, because her special puts defense down on everyone. And then if you use the ultimate on Beast turn 1, he'll put offense up. So you've got offense up, they have defense down, and then you hit him with this big ultimate and it just wipes everyone out. And then I got it for the special as well. The extra 70% damage to primary and secondary targets does help. The ability block sometimes helps out. Usually the enemies die before they take a turn, but I did not get it on the basic. It just the damage output for the team is already high enough to do everything I need them to do. And then for Jean Grey, I did get the passive, because it does prevent enemies from gaining speed bar for themselves. So again, that Spider-Man big time on one of the nodes that we'll see, whenever you attack him, his passive would normally give him speed bar, so this will block that. And then I got it for her ultimate too, not because it applies the ability block for 2 turns, but because of that 120% piercing to all enemies. Usually after I use her ultimate, they don't last 2 more turns. They might last 1 more turn. But you know, again, the key point here is damage output is very high for this team. Focus on maximizing your damage output, and they won't live long enough to take 2 turns. And then I didn't see it necessary for the special. Maybe if you're really big into Cosmic Crucible, this might be beneficial to you. I'm not. And then I didn't get it for the passive either. The extra damage might be nice, but by the time I'm using basics, I've already got control of the match. And in theory, it would be nice if enemies had defense down for 2 turns, but they just don't live that long. So that's the team. Let's get to the match. So I don't know that placement really matters, but this is what I do. I do have Falcon and Jean Grey as skirmisher. You could switch them both to Raider. I had Jean Grey as skirmisher at first just because I wanted to make sure she would land all of her debuffs. And then I put Falcon as skirmisher. I think it's always good to have one skirmisher in case some enemy had some buffs or you wanted vulnerability on that specific target. So let's get into it. Okay, so for turn 1, we're going to use the special on Black Cat. That will get Storm some more charge and keeps Black Cat from getting any meaningful turns. Then we're going to target these Ghost Rider Robbies. You want to keep taking away their charge. So we'll use the special here that will put defense down on everyone. That strips the charge off one of the Ghost Rider Robbies. We don't want them their passive kicking in. So now we use the special with Hercules on the other Ghost Rider Robbie. That strips his charge. And then this point, I will usually pick some enemy that has a lot of life. If one of the Ghost Rider Robbies has a lot of life, I will target them in case they get an assist here. And then we use the ultimate. And you can see that took care of almost everyone. And now we're going to use the basic that's going to chain and take out the Gwynam. So now everyone has full energy because of Beast passive. So now we're going to stun this Doctor Strange. That puts slow and trauma on everyone. And Storm is already at 20 charge. So now we're going to use the special again. This will put defense down on everyone. And then Hercules will take a turn soon here. And we're going to target someone with high health. Use the ultimate. He's got offense up. They got defense down. And wipes the wave out except for one guy. He's got a sliver health. So we'll do the basic. So now we'll move on to the next node. Yeah, you can see this is the one with the Spider-Man big time. Okay, let's see if he takes a turn first. He does, so it's good that we have Safeguard and Immunity, thanks to the passive T4s on Falcon and Hercules. So, let's see, we're going to target Spider-Man big time. It almost doesn't matter who you target here, I don't think. Then we're going to use this ultimate. She's got 20 charge. So everyone goes away except for Spider-Man big time. Now we're going to use the ultimate here. That'll put ability block on him just in case he ends up getting another turn. Sometimes the RNG works out that way, so it's nice if he has ability block. And here he's already got ability block. See, we're just going to do the basic here. We'll save that special in case we need it. And now we're just going to do another basic. We really need more enemies to be here. Okay, so now we'll use we're going to target Beta Ray Bill. We're going to use the ultimate. Whoever you target, you strip the buffs off. So that's why I target Beta Ray Bill, even though the ultimate from Beast isn't going to actually deal any damage. Alright, so Storm has only 7 charges, so we're going to use the special that will stun Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man big time. And now we will target Omega Sentinel and use the special with Jean Grey. That's going to put defense down on everyone. And this should be looking familiar by now. Hercules is going to take a turn here. And we're going to target someone with a lot of health in case he gets an assist. And we're going to use the ultimate. Offense up. They have defense down. Clears almost the entire wave. So now at this point, we can just use basics because we have everything under control. So another pretty easy node if you've got the T4s and you time everything well. It's usually not a problem to get that combination of attacks off. And here we go, node number 3. Alright, see they get a couple attacks in. So again, it's good to have Safeguard and Immunity. Alright, and then Storm only has 15 charges, but we're going to go ahead and use the ultimate anyway. We're going to target Hank Pym because we want to strip his buffs so that we'll deal more damage. His buffs go away. And as you can see, we really did a lot of damage here to everyone else. So let's go ahead and use the ultimate here on Scarlet Witch so she doesn't heal people up. And now we're going to let's see, we really don't want Shang-Chi to take a turn here, but we don't want Captain Britain taunting either. This guy has more speed bar, so let's go after him, and that'll also hit adjacent enemies. Alright, so he's a goner thanks to the assist. Now, there's only 3 enemies, but they do have some buffs, so we're going to use this special here and get some speed bar. And we targeted Captain Britain, so we stripped him of his buffs. And let's see. Let's use the... Let's go over here on Iceman. He's about to take a turn. Let's go ahead and use this special here. Alright, and now we can use... At this point, I think we just want to use a basic here. We need more enemies on the field. Normally, I would use the special on Black Panther Shuri, but she didn't spawn in time. So let's go ahead and control her with the ultimate here. I think that after we do this, we might get more enemies on the screen. No? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and use the ultimate, finish them off. Okay. So sometimes I get into a position like this where it's really hard to use the combinations I did on the previous 2 nodes, because the enemies are dying faster than they can spawn. So we're just going to use a basic here. Alright, here's the last 5 enemies. So now we're going to use this special here on Hank Pym, stun him. And now we're going to we'll target Iceman just to get a vulnerability on him. And now we'll use the special to put defense down on everyone. And then Hercules doesn't quite have enough for his ultimate. That's okay. We'll finish off Iceman first. And then let's see, we'll use the basic here on Photon. You can see she goes away thanks to offense up and defense down. And then nobody needs to be healed, so we'll go ahead and use the basic here on the guy that's not stunned. And then Storm is now at 20 charge. Go ahead and use a basic, that should finish him off. So that node gets a little awkward sometimes. That's probably about as bad as it gets. So that's good though. It's good to kill enemies about as fast as they can spawn. Alright, so this is the boss node. They've got some intimidating looking enemies, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Okay, so we're going to target Black Knight. This will strip his charges. We've got 20 charge on Storm. And you can see only Blade is left. Now, had I targeted Blade, maybe I would have gotten assist and finished him off, but he's pretty beefy. It usually takes a couple attacks to finish him off. But I mean, he's well under control, as you can see. Just did a couple basics and finished him off. And at this point now, we're just waiting for the enemies to come back. I'm going to use the ultimate here to get speed up and offense up on everyone. There's the rest of the enemies. Okay, so Storm only has 3 charge, so we're going to target Quicksilver. This will strip him of his charges, stun him, and put slow and trauma on everyone. And now we're going to... Let's target Man-Thing here. He can take a lot of damage, so I want vulnerability on him. I'm going to use the special. This will put defense down on everyone, and then Hercules is going to take a turn, and we'll use his ultimate. Anyone that's left over will use the ultimate for Falcon. Alright, so here we go. Let's see how many we wipe off the field. Good number of them. And you can see that that man thing is really beefy. Okay, so we're going to target Scarlet Witch because she has buffs that we can steal. Use the ultimate. Now we're down to 3. We're going to use this special here that hits everyone. And since this is the last wave, the boss node, we're going to use the ultimate here. It was only 12 charges on Storm, but that's all we needed. So everything was very well under control the entire time. Thanks to maximizing the damage output and timing the attacks so that you always have defense down on the enemies before you use your ultimates. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you on the next one.